afternoon. I am here today at the New Mexico Art League to do a brief walkthrough of one of our most popular shows entitled Black and White. And this is a show of black and white drawings and black and white photographs. And since we are now closed to the public, we thought we would do this quick little video to let people see the work if they were unable to attend the show while it was open to the public. So I will be starting over here to the left with a digital photograph entitled Acoma Entrance by Mary Powell. Next, we have also a digital photograph entitled Lost in Japan by Philip Deary. Here we have also a digital photograph, but it is printed on vinyl. The artist's name is Jeff Laird, and the title is Torso Twinka. Here we have two digital photographs. The top one is by Mark Warner, entitled Cabazon in Clouds, and the piece below is entitled Brothers by Benjamin Fields. And this digital photograph is printed on metal. Next we have a drawing entitled Perdida 1 by Sarah Rivera. It is a charcoal on paper. Here we have two digital photographs. The top one is by our very own Leslie Thornton, who helps us with PR and membership here at the Art League. Her piece is entitled Wintergrass in Ice Basin. The piece below is by Paul Ziegler and is entitled New Orleans Door. Here we have a drawing by Diane Schleiss entitled Self-Portrait. It is a charcoal on paper. Next we have, here we go. Next we have another digital photograph entitled Tough Spot by David McMullen. Here we have a drawing by Marcia Scott entitled Woman Asleep. It is a graphite on paper. Another drawing by Diane Schleiss. This piece is entitled Claudia and is charcoal and graphite on paper. The piece below is a digital photograph entitled Betty Lou by Trev Terrell. This piece is entitled Morning Bloom and is by Nancy Hasseman, a digital photograph. Here we have a piece entitled Casa Rinconada, number 1. This piece is by Chiquio Jackson and is a digital photograph printed on metal. Here we have a piece, a digital photograph as well, entitled Muertos Vivientes by Jeffrey Grenier. Next we have a drawing by our very own Peggy Nichols, who teaches life drawing here at the Art League. This piece is entitled Stefan and is vine charcoal and charcoal pencil on paper. Here we have one of a series of 3 photographs by our dear friend Kate Fry, who is on our board of directors. Kate took this series of photos while she was in the Galapagos on a visit. This piece is entitled Did Not, Did So. Next we have a piece entitled All Alone by Mark Warner, also a digital photograph. This piece is untitled. This is a film photograph, the old school, by Vincent Frazetta. Next we have a piece entitled AT and SF 2926 Locomotive number 2 by Roger Green. Here we have a digital photograph entitled Sunflower by Shelley Moore. And another drawing by Peggy Nichols from her days at Studio C in Los Angeles. This piece is entitled Triad and is vine charcoal and charcoal pencil on paper. This piece is entitled The Beauty of Architecture by Vicki Kimmel, a digital photograph. Second in the series from the Galapagos is a piece by Kate Fry, digital photograph entitled Primordial. And the third in Kate's series from the Galapagos is entitled Off Duty, also a digital photograph. Here we have another digital photo entitled Storm Approaching Salinas Mission by Kathleen Sanderson. This piece is a pen and ink drawing by Kyrie Osborne entitled Foxed In. Here is a piece entitled Bat by Grace O'Grady and is toner wash on paper. Here we have a digital photograph by Dan Schaefer entitled Bike Path Underpass. This drawing is by Louisa Roberts and is charcoal on paper and entitled Contemplation. Here we have a digital photograph entitled Raindrops on Aspen by Mary Powell. Next, below it is a piece entitled Leopard Seal by Patricia Gould, also a digital photograph. Here we go around the corner to the main gallery. This is a piece entitled All the World's a Stage by Heather Ward. It is a scratchboard. This piece is entitled End of the Day by Vicki Kimmel, a digital photograph. Here is a piece by Bart Ellison entitled Shadow White Sands, also a digital photograph. This piece is by Dan English entitled Brick Wall on Child's Pose, also a digital photograph. This photograph is on canvas and is entitled Monumental by Patricia Gould. This drawing is by Michael Nevros entitled Male Nude. It is graphite on paper. Also a drawing, this piece is by Judy Foster entitled Apple Power. It is a pencil on paper. Companion piece, also by Judy Foster, pencil on paper. This piece is called Pear Delight. Back in the gallery, here we are. We have another digital photograph entitled Little Church at Black Mesa by Shelley Moore. Next we have another scratchboard piece by Heather Ward entitled A Secret Meeting in the Woods. Here we have a drawing by Marcia Scott entitled Nude in Chair. It is a graphite on paper. These three pieces are by Shauna Murray, all the same size, 6 inches by 4 in different orientations. They're like a travel series of photographs. They are filmed photographs from the old way, and the first is entitled La Soledad en Trinidad, Cuba. The second, Julio in Havana, and the third, Lima. This piece is entitled Shipboard Vertigo by Mark Warner, a digital photograph. Also a digital photograph, this piece is by Dan Schaefer, entitled Portal Stripes. Here we have another digital photo entitled Lone Tree by Shelley Moore. This is another scratchboard piece by Heather Ward entitled Tangled. And this piece is also by Dan Schaefer, a digital photo entitled 505. This is a drawing by Michael Nevros entitled Female Nude. It is a graphite on paper. The piece below is a digital photograph entitled Black Rose by Virginia Mahan. This piece is a digital photograph entitled Teller of Fortunes by Vicki Kimmel. This photograph is a digital photo entitled Trout by Trev Terrell. Below is a digital drawing by Richard Nordhaus entitled Winter Breakfast. This is a drawing by Frank Cernelli entitled Monolith. It is a pen and ink on paper. Here we have a piece by Meredith McPherson entitled Enzo Essence. It is Sumi ink on paper on panel. This drawing is a pen and ink by Dale Potter entitled Coquille River Lighthouse. Here we have another drawing. It is graphite on Bristol paper entitled Rue de l'Hôtel de Ville by Martha Colgan. Here we have a drawing entitled Woman with a Peasant Scarf by Michael Nevros, graphite on paper. Here we have a drawing by Vicki Morgan entitled Small Wishes. It is graphite on paper. Here we have a piece by David Merriam, one of our wonderful volunteers who helps us so much here at the Art League. His piece is entitled Serenity and is charcoal on paper. This piece is entitled Girl in Black Lace by Virginia Mahan. So sorry about that reflection. Let's see if I can fix that. It is a digital photograph, and let's keep moving on. Also a digital photograph is this piece by Leroy Sanchez. It is entitled Santa Fe Plaza Winter Fantasy. Here we have another digital photograph entitled Storm Over Stonehenge by Judith Welton. Here we have a drawing by, Here we have a drawing by Peggy Nichols entitled Mi Tierra Adele, and it is fine charcoal and charcoal pencil on paper. Here we have a digital photograph entitled Dragonfly 2 by Marlene Bachicha Roberts. It is a digital photo, sorry, I said that. Here we go. Below it, also a digital photo, is entitled Something Old and New Is by Dan English. Next is a larger digital photo printed on metal entitled Angel's View. It's by Benjamin Fields. We have another digital photo entitled Dragonfly 1 by Marlene Bachicha Roberts. And below, also a photo, digital photo by Judith Welton entitled Plaza in the Snow. This piece is a drawing by Frank Cernelli, and it is entitled Daily Walk. It is Conte crayon, charcoal, and pencil on paper. This piece is entitled Sue Dancer by Monica Siofi, also a digital photograph. Another digital photo by Leroy Sanchez entitled The Fortress, Northern New Mexico. And here we have another digital photo entitled The Family That Flies Together by Monica Siofi. Here is a drawing by Marilyn Whiteman, charcoal on paper, entitled Without Distraction. Another drawing here, charcoal on paper, by Kathy Ann Connolly, entitled 1,000 or Two. Here we have a digital drawing by Richard Nordhaus, and it is untitled. Another drawing, graphite on paper, is entitled Woman with Buzz Cut. This is by Marcia Scott. Here we have a digital photograph entitled Look at the Camera Please by Dan English. Above, I'm sorry about the reflection, we have a piece entitled I'll Get to It by Paul Sigler. Here we have a drawing, pen and ink on paper, by Kyrie Osborne, entitled African Safari. Here is a digital photograph entitled Footprints on the Dunes by Bart Ellison. And another digital photograph, but printed on metal, by Chikyo Jackson. This piece is entitled Ever Present Now. This piece is entitled Cicada. It's a digital photograph by Marlene Bachicha Roberts. This piece is entitled Place of Emergence by Meredith McPherson, Sumi on paper and on panel. Last but not least, this piece is entitled After the Rain by our very own Gary Lamott, who is a wonderful volunteer and helps us so much here at the New Mexico Art League. This is a digital photograph. So this concludes our walkthrough of the Black and White show. We want to wish all of you and your families good health, and we miss you all, and we look forward to seeing everybody hopefully in June again when we are able to reopen. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.